What's up guys, I am still here in San Francisco for Galaxy Unpacked, and I am fortunate enough to have some early hands-on time with not only the S26 Ultra, but a few of the accessories as well, including a MagSafe style charger. So in this video, we're going to unbox all of these and take a closer look. But first, if you guys haven't ordered your Galaxy S26 Ultra yet, and you want an exclusive $50 bonus credit on top of the huge pre-order deals like the $900 instant trade-in credit, then you can use my exclusive affiliate links in the description and pinned comment. Let's start with the S26 Ultra because we need this out of the box before we could test these anyway. So when we take the top off, this is a pretty standard unboxing experience for Samsung, and this is that cobalt violet color. And as I turn this around in the light, sometimes it looks a bit like a frosted blue and other times a frosted purple, so it really depends on the lighting. It is a pretty neat color though. There's nothing else below the phone, but in this box right here, we get a full 60-watt capable charging cable, and I will be testing this later in the video, a SIM ejector tool, and instructions for installing the SIM. Looking back at the phone, we get a protective cover on the front. I'll go ahead and turn this on, then we'll unbox the next product. So while that's booting, let's take a look at the case. Now this is one of Samsung's MagSafe style cases, and instead of calling it MagSafe, Samsung just calls it magnet cases. So here's a closer look at the case. The magnet is actually mounted on the inside, so that the back of the case is completely smooth. And I'm really curious to see if these magnets affect the S Pen at all, and I also want to see how powerful the magnets are compared to other magnetic cases. So let's go ahead and put the phone in. That snaps in really easy. And we do get raised bezels on the front for face down drops, which is good. We are fully protected on the bottom of the phone as well. And the cutout for the S Pen is big enough to push that in and out. The protective camera bezel does raise up just slightly above the cameras for those backdrops, but it's not raised up a ton more, so if this took a really big fall on the back, there is a chance you could actually still hit the lenses. And I'm now on the data transfer step for the phone setup process, so we'll just keep going with the next box. And this is Samsung's own MagSafe charger and a 45-watt power adapter as well. And the reason I have a 45-watt power adapter is that this charger is capable of 25-watt wireless charging, specifically with the Galaxy S26 Ultra. If you have the S26 Plus, it'll be 20-watt charging. If you have the S26, it'll be 15-watt charging. So let's go ahead and get this out of the box. So there's two boxes. The smaller box contains the charger itself, and this is, wow, this is actually really, really slim. I was expecting this to be a thicker, bigger charger, but it's actually not bad at all. The cable itself is this really nice braided cable as well. So I'm definitely really impressed with this. I did not think it would be this high of quality, and this is like a metal too. And the second box in there contains the 45-watt charger. So the phone just finished initializing, and the first thing I noticed is that the background sort of matches the color, right? Because this is the cobalt violet color, and they kind of carry that design through to the wallpaper. And it's also a neat way to draw the Samsung S. So now that this is set up, we can take a look at this first accessory here. And the thing I want to point out about the MagSafe charger is that it does not connect to the back of the phone. There's no magnetizing here at all. So while this does support the 25-watt wireless charging from the Qi 2 standard, it does not have those built-in magnets because that would likely affect the S Pen and make the S Pen start acting all sorts of wonky. So let's go ahead and actually test that out by putting it in the MagSafe style case. And we're going to see if this magnet affects the S Pen because that is a problem with some cases. I'm assuming that since this is a first-party case from Samsung, it's not going to be an issue. So let's go ahead and take the pen out. And the first thing I notice here is that trying to get in there from the inside to take the pen out is a little bit challenging, specifically with this case on. But on the outside, there's a little bit more of a groove for you to get your finger in there. So that's a little bit easier to take the pen out that way. Now let's go ahead and open up Samsung Notes, create a new note, and we've got the drawing on. I'm going to zoom in a little bit here, and the magnet is right here, so in this section here. So if I try to draw straight lines across that, if it's interfering, you're not going to see straight lines. You'd see huge bumps in the lines as I go back and forth. And I am not seeing that at all right now. So this is a great sign. It looks like the magnet does not affect the S Pen at all. But what happens if you put a MagSafe accessory on the back? Because usually this is a lot stronger magnet that is going to start affecting the S Pen. So let's go ahead and put this charger on the back. And in case you're wondering, it's this soft padded side that goes towards the phone. And with that on the back, let's try drawing again. And still no issues at all. That's really impressive. But we haven't actually started wireless charging yet. So let's plug this in now and see if that makes a difference. All right, so the puck is plugged in, and if we connect it to the phone, we'll see super fast wireless charging pop up at the bottom. And now let's see if this affects the S Pen. So it's gonna go back and forth, and it doesn't seem to be affecting the S Pen at all still, even though it's wirelessly charging now. That's really impressive. So while we don't have built-in magnets into the phone yet, it's at least good to see that with the wireless charging, at least Samsung's official accessories for wireless charging, we can still use the S Pen and not worry about it. Something else I want to quickly point out about the S Pen is that it does have an angled top now, so it does only technically go in one way on the phone. If you install it the wrong way, it's just going to stick out a little bit on the side. It's not a big deal, but if you do want that nice flush look, you are going to have to be intentional about putting it back in the right way. So that leads us to the Galaxy Buds 4 Pro. This is Samsung's latest version of their Pro earbuds. So let's go ahead and get these out of the box. I also have the Galaxy Buds 3 Pro with me, so I can show you guys the difference in what those two look like next to each other. And I'll grab those in just a moment. So taking these out of the box, it's a very typical unboxing from what we've had for Galaxy Buds in the past. You've got the buds in there with a little wrapping that pulls off. But the style of these buds are very different than last year and how you take them out, which I think is great because if I lift this up, it's a lot easier to just grab the side of the earbud and get them out really easily. Let me grab the Buds 3 Pro really quick so I can show you how different that was. So here are the Buds 3 Pro for comparison. And when you open this up, you can still get them out relatively easily. It just takes a little bit of getting used to. After I've had these for about a year now, I have gotten used to getting them in and out. But this new design is significantly easier because they're just easily just right in front. The whole stem's available just to pull right out. The case shape is also very different this year. It's a squared shape that's not quite as wide, but it is a little bit taller. And Samsung says we can expect about the same battery life between the two generations. The biggest difference with performance with the Buds 4 Pro is with the woofer that has been increased in size for deeper bass. And there's also been some other fine tuning to improve the sound as well. But I'll have to test these out for an extended period of time to let you guys know how much of a difference there really is between the two. Another big difference is in the design. So the tip that goes in your ear is very similar generation to generation, but the stem has completely changed. So before, Samsung had this kind of triangular blade design, and now they have a kind of a rounded stick design. But both of them function similarly with being able to increase or decrease the volume by running your finger up or down the stem. And squeezing the stems still controls the playback and ambient sound modes. And just like with the Buds 3 Pro, pairing is very simple. You just open up the case, your phone will automatically detect them, and you just tap connect. And the first time you connect the buds, you'll be given a demo of how to use them. And this includes things like gestures like nodding to accept a call or shaking your head to decline a call. You can also answer yes or no questions from Bixby with these head gestures. So that's it for the accessories in this video, but I do want to point out that I have had this puck on for about 10 minutes now, and it is starting to get relatively warm. It's not uncomfortably hot, but it's definitely warm. And when I take the puck off, the back of the phone is also getting pretty warm as well. But to be fair, that is pretty standard for wireless charging, especially if you're charging at 25 watts. Now I'd also like to test this 60 watt capable cable, but the phone is already charged up to 93%. So the best I could do now is see if Superfast Charge 3.0 shows up on the screen when I connect a 60 watt capable charger. So let's go ahead and do that now. We'll plug this in. And there it is, Superfast Charge 3.0. So this cable does indeed support the full 65 watt charging. And surprisingly, if you look at this charger here, you can see that it's actually pulling over 20 watts, even though it's already 93% charged and kind of warm from the wireless charging. Typically, by the time you get over 90%, you're pulling less than 10 watts. So this is really impressive that they're able to charge at still a pretty high wattage at such a high percentage already. And I'm really curious to test this out to see how fast we can charge this device from 0 to 100%, but that's obviously going to have to be in a different video. If you want to see a bunch of the brand new features on the S26 Ultra in a lot more detail, including things like the privacy screen, you can go ahead and click this video here. Or if you want to see how the S26 Ultra compares to the S25 Ultra, you could check out this video instead. And consider subscribing and turning on notifications if you want to see my deep dive comparison between the S26 Ultra and previous generations of the Ultra series, or if you want to see a quick camera comparison to the iPhone 17 Pro Max. That's it for this tech episode. Jesus loves you guys, and I'll catch you in the next one real soon.